Indewo, Indebo. Ahambo, Bishop T.D. Jakes. Anam na BBC News Igbo. So it all started when Henry Louis Gates, who was at Harvard, decided to do this DNA testing to see where my ancestry came from. It was me, it was Oprah Winfrey, it was Quincy Jones, and several other people who participated in the initial study. And mine traced back to Western Africa and to Nigeria in particular, and Igbo were my ancestors were Igbos. It's indescribable. Yeah, it gives us something that we as African American people don't have, which is roots, as Alex Haley would say. It gave me a better understanding of my roots. It's very interesting how similar I am personality-wise to how Igbo people are described. Well, they're described as being hardworking and industrious, innovative, with a strong business acumen. I deeply relate to that. Upwardly mobile people, progressive in their thinking. It explained me to me. It's odd that I was never born there, and yet I see so many traces of that. I've always been entrepreneurial. I've always had a strong business acumen. I've always been aggressive in business as well as in faith. And though I'm more well known over there for the faith aspect of it, I own several companies. I've always had my own resources. And my sons and my daughters have all started studying ancestry and about Igbos and about more and more about Africa as I like to say, close the Middle Passage and reconnect with our brothers and sisters from over there. It's hard to explain the hole that fills up. To know a little bit more about where you came from. One of the terrible tragedies of the transatlantic slave trade is not just that we were taken from our home and from our culture and from our people and from our food, but we lost our history. And history, African American history, is taught over here from the times the boat landed. And then we assumed a name that does not define us. So Jakes is actually a German name, and it only signifies who owned my ancestors. So to reach beyond the boats and beyond the chains, and to touch a soil where I came from and was in fact free, and to understand that my ancestors were something before they were a slave, is extremely gratifying, and really confirms why I have such fascination with the continent of Africa and always have. When I'm in Nigeria, I experience the food, and so I'll eat the fufu and the jollof rice and have those kinds of experiences. And I probably had more than I can name, because I go to Ghana quite often, Accra, and I go to Lagos quite often, and some of it I don't even know the names of. What I have learned about the food is that it is almost always hot and spicy. And but the thing about it, I ate it before, but oxtail over there is so hot it makes your head sweat. and I liked it. I liked it. So I'm trying to imitate it. I haven't been able to do it, but I try. You're busy working. I want to speak to you. How are you?
Going to see your granddaughter.
Colonialism in some ways affected you like slavery did us. And so we're still trying to untangle ourselves from the after effects of some of the atrocities that did not dignify us with a deeper understanding of how we choose to see ourselves. They were more interested in the land than the people. And so they divided up the land at the expense of the people. And I think we're still trying to overcome that. And I say we because we were there too. But I deeply respect and understand that there is a passion amongst many Igbos to recede from Nigeria and to develop their own influence and culture and so forth. And I think that we are still grappling with the after effects of colonialism and trying to my understanding of colonialism, you had superimposed upon you one way of looking at yourselves that were totally different from how you had seen yourselves before. And at the end of the day, we need to find a way to re-understand ourselves beyond white supremacy and dominance and colonialism, and reconnect as a African family, regardless to what tribe we are. We cannot become so tribal in our thinking that we do it to the disintegration of the opportunities that come through trade and interconnectivity. There's a huge opportunity for Africans of all parts of the continent and African Americans to come together for business, for prosperity, much like Jews do in their understanding of Israel. No matter where they are in the world, there's still some solidarity they have to where they came from. In that same sense, I think we benefit by making those connections. I think that the more that we explore each other, the better we are as a civilization. My hope for the Igbo people, for the African people, for all people, is that as superpowers come in and add so much technology and advancement, that the culture is not snuffed out in the process, and that you understand that ownership is critical in the deals that you make around the world. If you only sell and you don't own, you'll soon be not a people at all. And I think we have to understand that in order to go forward. It is an antiquated idea, in my view, to think that we can build walls around people and isolate them and make them and harness them behind those walls when technology has torn down the walls. So we're watching Nollywood movies on Netflix. We seek to do business with Nollywood because I'm a film producer. And so anytime you're a film producer, you want to go wherever there is an audience and wherever there is a demand. And so I think that you have to be prepared to let people explore the planet, and where in order to get them to come back, you can't make them feel guilty into coming back. You have to create opportunities for them to want to come back to. I'm the CEO of TD Jakes Real Estate Ventures, TDJ Rev, and we do have a global interest in extending our business far beyond our borders. It has not been easy. It has not been easy. And I'm very interested in partnering with like-minded business people who we can get past the corruption, we can get past the red tape, and do business amongst ourselves. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way that reasonable men can sit down at the table and we can do like other people of the world and do business, and both people walk away having their expectations met. Every time I come to Africa, there's building, there's development, there's increase going on. And I think that there's a chance for us as African Americans and Africans to have a collaborative effort, because on the other hand, we don't have the racial complexities over there that we do over here. And so we've got to find a way to bridge this gap so that people can eat and live and educate and grow effectively. If we don't learn how to dwell together as brethren, we will die together as individuals.